So how do we know if it's? I think it's full. No,
because it's red. No, it's red. It wouldn't be.
It was the little clicker on the.
Yeah, I never pressed it.
All right, so we have to start anew.
Go for it.
Yeah, well, let's do Chazar. Ilchus Tefilin Halacha Hey, through this Meiser of the 7 battles that we read about the story of the first battle. Okay, so we.
Here, you know what? It's alright, no, I can listen to it twice even.
Yeah, alright, so we start this.
Even right here in the reset button.
Okay, cool.
Doesn't matter, man.
Okay. He says each one as a tzaddik is I mean the Spiros is the only way to translate it really is showing off, but not showing off in a boastful kind of way, you know, in a self-aggrandizing way, but it sort of reveals and his madrega, his level. Each one of the stories is a level of the revelation, the tzaddikim reveal of their hasaga, whatever it is that he has reached in the upper universes, the upper worlds. Each one of the specific place where he has reached, Asher Chelkoi, how fortunate they are. And they say that these 8 Zkanim, these 8 sages that were in the Migdal, it says B'Shem Rabbeinu that one of them, you know, these are the greatest 8 tzaddikim that have ever lived. And they said B'Shem Rabbeinu that one of them was the Noam Elimelech. He was one of the 8. And this is so L'Moshel B'Inishit Be'el Lefanenu.
These 8 include the blind beggar?
I don't know. Take a look. You'll see. I think the blind beggar is beyond that. L'Moshel B'Inishit Be'el Lefanenu. This Indian that is going to be that we're going to talk about before us. She'Yispar was Canaan, that the old people have. How do you say Yispar?
They have not gloating, but they have a pride. They take pride.
The holy pride, though.
It's, I don't know. Okay,
Take holy, like Rabbi Shimon said.
We'll use take holy pride. You know, this Indian that we have spoken, that the Canaan took holy pride. Each one that foretold, you know, that told what he remembered from the first memory that he had. They recounted v'hakotan shebekulam gavoya me'od me'od, and the smallest one of them all that is incredibly lofty. Mashe ifshar achis b'moach otzem gdulosoi v'toikef gdushosoi. It is impossible to wrap one's mind around the issue of the greatness of even one of them. I mean, the smallest one, you can't put it in the head. Like one of them remembers what was happening with him. He remembers what has transpired with him when they cut the umbilical cord. Look and understand and fathom. Can we find even one of this generation that can make this that can take such holy pride that he has cleansed and purified and cleansed his body, his matter to such a degree that he will remember, he will have total recollection of whatever has happened with him from the get-go, from the moment that he was born. When he actually was born, when they cut the umbilical cord. You have to understand what we're talking over here is that since we said the madrega of the tzaddikim is unlike the madrega of other people, you know, of the chokhmas hateva, which is additive, which is cumulative. That one chokhmah, and then you add another one, and you add another one on top of that, v'chula, v'chula, v'chula. Over here, we're talking about the gdul of the tzaddikim is when they strip away the gashmias. As they strip away the gashmias, this is when the neshama is so Mimela, this inyan of zikaron, the inyan of memory, or rather lack thereof, the inyan of forgetfulness, is a direct consequence of gashmias. The more gashmi a person is, the more forgetful he is. When a person strips his gashmias completely, he is zoche to a memory. Everything remains clean by him. Everything remains revealed by him. And this is the madregas mimela, when a person's body is so clean, it doesn't stand his way anymore. He remembers everything since the moment go, since he came out in the world. This is a function of cleanliness, of purity. It's not a question of good memory. It's a question of that because the body, the gashmis, is the thing that blocks the memory. That's the reason why when a person passes away, he sees and remembers absolutely everything. Because
all the gashmiut is stripped.
Because all the gashmis is stripped, the body doesn't stand the way anymore. So it says, and this is the smallest one of them all. And now, Fullstone, come and see and take a look the greatness of the second sage, the second old elder. That the greatness of the first elder, that remember when they cut his umbilical cord, was it like a joke? It was like a trifle. It's nothing. And he was like, you call that old? That is an old tale. Man, that wasn't today's newspaper. What are you talking about? And I remember that Maisa. I also remember when the candle was burning. And the great eagle afterwards explained it. He also remembers whatever was happening with him when he was still in his mother's womb. When there was a candle burning on top of his head, which denotes the neshama before it actually gets into the body. It's al roisha, not betoch roisha. It's al roisha. It says neshama shebemoichi. It says once a person is born, the neshama goes into the moich. The neshama is still above the moich. This is the euphemism for it is a ner doilek al roisha. Ner Hashem nishmas adam, the candle of Hashem, is the neshama of a person. He remembers that. He remembers when it was that. Now the greatness, the qualitative difference and advantage of the second one from the first one, you can understand a little bit from afar. He says, even though we are, it's a joke, we're so far from that. כי החילוק הגדול שיש לאדם בין קודם שיוצא לאוויר העולם ובין אחר כך, the incredible difference in a person's being before he's born and after he's born, lemaisa, the meaning of being born is akin to dying, because the world of the fetus has come to an end. Whatever Metzias he had over there, whatever Metzias he had over there is finished. The Ma'amar Chazal that says al kochacha tanoilad, al kochacha tachai, kochacha tamet, al kochacha tatid litandin v'cheshbon. He says, in spite of you, you're born. In spite of you, you live. In spite of you, you're going to die. In spite of you, you're going to give din v'cheshbon to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So it's a word that all you need to do is just airplane mode. It's a word that I keep on recycling because I don't have that many of them. And about this, why does Chazal say that in spite of you, you're born? It'll be enough. Yes, why do you have to say that in spite of you, you're born?
It's not your decision.
No, but you can say in spite of you, you live. In spite of you, you're born is already included in it. There's no way to live without getting born, right?
It's a different part of
Said it, but
The lashon is nolad, that's what you're referring to. If you nolad, obviously you're chai.
so in fact, you can say kochach chai.
Well,
But if you say that
right?
you have no choice, the main thing is that you usually don't have cognition of the state of being before you're born. So you said, I don't say why am I living. So kochach chai, I didn't ask for it. Okay, in spite of you, whether you like it or not, you're alive. Or like it or no, you're going to die. And likely or not, whether you like it or not, you're going to give a chesed HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why do you have to say? What are you adding by saying, despite of you, whether you like it or not, you're born? You can say, despite of you, you're alive. It's obviously you got born because nobody comes here in any different way that we know of, right?
Well, it goes one step further about in the womb. The notes are there's two steps actually.
So what we can learn from this is that when the one of the things we can learn from this, the fetus before it is born, it lives in a world that all its needs are being taken care of. It doesn't have to work for anything. He says the candle is burning on top of his head. He sees from beginning the world to the end of the world. Everything is fine. He's learning the entire Torah Kula, right? He's learning the entire Torah, and now when the baby is developing, arm and legs and whatever it is, and it's pushing and this, and it's uncomfortable for the baby and it's comfortable for the mother. Everybody is the best thing for kivyochel, for the baby, for the fetus in the belly of the mother, was not to have any eyes. He doesn't use them. Not to have any mouth. He doesn't use it either, or nose, or ears, or anything. Right? Doesn't need legs. Doesn't need hands. It's just a hindrance.
Even the Torah that he learns is just a neshama above his head.
No, besides that, he has everything. He has it all. He's fed directly from the umbilical. He sees the entire world, and he learns the entire Torah. What could be better? What does he need? The best thing, probably the most comfortable thing for everybody, it'll be like a ball. Right? Doesn't disturb anybody, never disturbs it, it's fine. Maybe a tablet, it's like flat, whatever, I don't know. Legs, hands, whatever it is. You know why? Because it's going to be born.
It's getting you ready for the next world.
Exactly right. It's getting ready for the existence after it dies as a fetus. Shem Yiracham, if it doesn't develop legs, it doesn't develop eyes or ears or whatever. And Achinami, that particular matzav, where as a fetus, it doesn't need those things. But that state is only preparation for the next one. The same thing is when you're alive. When you're doing the Maisa Mitzvahs, you're developing Taryag, Evorim, Vegidim, 613 organs and limbs and sinews that are spiritual. And you can say, what do I need this for? What I need here is, roof over my head, food to eat, roof over my head, some entertainment. I'm fine. It's just, what do I need to develop all these things for? What do I do with these spiritual eyes and legs and hands and whatever it is. So Nachinami, you're not doing anything with it here, but you're going to get out of here. You're going to get born to the next phase. Remember, you're going to get born. The same thing is you live, you're going to say at every single stage. So it's a totally different universe before one is born. It's a different life. It's a different lifetime, the club. It's not a continuation. So it says Ki achilek hagodol sheyesh la'odam. The great difference is by a person. Ki ben kodem sheyotz la'avir l'olam ben achar kach. From Evorah b'dver b'terem zal b'gemorah b'midrashim b'zoyah. It says Ki bet ha'yibu in the time of pregnancy kshu b'mei imoy, when he was inside his mother's ner dolek al roishoy. Then the candle was burning over his head, and the shoma was burning above his head. And it's gazing and looking and seeing the entire world from beginning to end. There's no gashmis to hold him back. The minute it comes to the world, immediately a malach came and slaps him, and smacks him, and he forgets everything. This is what Eov says, who will return to me, who will put me back again to the month of before. The month before I was born, the days that Hashem just guarded me and took care of me. All the avoid of a person in this world, the entire avoid of a person in this world is to re-attain and to find and get back all that he has already known to begin with when the candle was burning on his head. At that time, he was seeing, he was using, he was gazing at the hidden light. The light is hidden from the 7 days of Bereshis. This is the thing that enabled a person to see from the beginning of the world to its end. From the end of the world to the end of the world. Now come and see. Now come and take a look and see how incredibly, infinitely greater is the second elder than the first one. The difference is as great as the heavens are above the earth. And the same thing is the third one over the second one. He says, the smallest one of them all, of all these tzaddikim. Gavur Moed Moed is incredibly exalted, that you can't find anybody like him except one in a few generations. As they say that the Noam Elimelech said that he was able to do tshuva for hitting his mother's breast when he was breastfeeding. You know. So this is what we know that he said, and Rabbeinu said that the Gedula of the Noam Elimelech was far greater than we know, than is evident by his sefer. In other words, that was mikzas, the little, he was greater than that.
They said the world started benefiting from his neshama 500 years before he was born.
The first one, you can find one in a few generations. You find one like that, and still, when compared to the second one, Hagavor Mimeno, there's Haden Nechshav Kinekuda. It's like a dot. It's like a microfilm dot in the middle of Yankee Stadium. And boom, it's like. And the same thing is the second when compared to the third. וכן להלן, and so forth and on, עד שזה שיספר שהתינוק אז לגמרי, that one that was a total baby then, שהוא הבטלר העיוור בעצמו, that's the blind beggar by himself, שאומר שזוכר כל אלה המעשיות והוא אינו זוכר כלום. And he says, he remembers all these tales and he remembers nothing. אין שם. כי זה כלל גודל ומבוא מרבינו ז"ל. That's a great and explicit and understood principle in the words of Rabbeinu Zal, Rabbeinu Nachman, וכתבי הארי ז"ל, שאפילו המדרגה הגבוה של המדרגס, even the מדרגה, is the highest of all the levels. אף על פי כן כנגד המדרגה הגבוה עוד יסר, when compared to the מדרגה that is above it, נחשב הכל כנקודה בעלמא כנגדו. It's just like a dot when in comparison to that which is above it. כמו שכתוב בזוהר הקודש, it is said in the Heilige Zohar, in the Tikkunim, אפילו כסר עליון, even כסר עליון, which is the illumination itself, that's the thing that gives Chaz's entire world. This is nothing higher. He says, Uchmau kadam ilas ilas. It is total black, total darkness when compared to the reason of reasons. And of course, ilas ilas, the reason of reason, is also a bria. We're not talking about HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
כתר איזה מצילות?
לא, כתר זה אדם קדמון.
מעל האצילות.
זה מעל הכל.
אז מה זה עילת העילות?
זה אין סוף.
זה אין סוף.
זה אין סוף is also בריאה.
אוקיי, זה אין סוף.
כל אלו הגדולס והנפלואס, all these, it's all reference to HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'atzmai, but there's no reference in this bria. It's everything we can refer to, even when we say that we can't refer to, is a nivra. Even Ein Sof is a nivra.
It's so high that there's nothing that everything that can be put down,
Nothing can compare.
it's not it.
It's not words.
אבל בריאה, אתה אומר בריאה, עולם הבריאה? עולם הבריאה?
לא.
זה בריאה, it's a creation.
It's a creation. Ein Sof is a creation. Because there's something you can say about it that you can't say about it. Ein Sof, what are you calling Ein Sof? Infinity, which means there's no finity, there's no end to it. The very fact alone you can say there's no end to it, you can already say something about it. You're saying I can't say an end about it, okay? The minute you can say anything about it, even you're saying that you cannot say anything, is already a bria.
You're giving it actualization.
Yeah, it's giving a reference. The minute you can have any reference to it, it's already a bria. It's already a secondary.
And then you can fathom it. Even explain it or say any words on it.
Let's not start writing poetry here. The main thing is that we need to understand Ein Sof is a bria. All these great achievements and holy, how do you call it? What did you say?
What's the word? His Pyrus HaKadusha, taking pride.
The pride.
In one's level of achievement. Holy pride.
And that holy pride, all these gdolos niflos v'or ma'aseh rishon sham, v'chen b'chol yom v'orim b'kama dvorim nifloim shesper kol echad. It says this is all the incredible things that were revealed in the first day, and then also day after day after day. It's the Rabbeinu tells of incredible inyanim that each one of the beggars has took this holy pride, like in the second day about the good life, the little that withholds the alat, and the mating of the holy birds, you can put them together. Open up your eyes. That's the next mice, and we didn't read on to the. Nevertheless, Zayin Betler is a. is something that people should read. People should read. He says, open up your eyes and see what a person can be zoch in this world. That mortals born of women can attain such inyonim that Kivyochal Hashem Yisboch be'atzmoi, praises himself, takes pride in them. ואין או בדברינו באבן העזר לחס אישוס שבהם דיברנו גם כן קצת בעניין המעשה הקדוש של יום השישי מניין כוח הידיים. should see a little bit more from what we wrote in Even HaEzer, Hilchos Ishus, that we spoke a little bit more about this Maaseh Kedosha from the 6th day of the beggar that doesn't have the hands. Rabbeinu Hanoi Razal and our awesome Rebbe Zal Yodel Kulam, he knew it all. He knew to tell the Maaseh that has occurred from each and every one of them. And the truth the Rebbe said about himself when he told this Maaseh, this story, if the only thing that he knew in this world was just this story, it still would be an awesome chiddush. He says, and we shouldn't speak about this anymore, because the more we speak about it, the lesser we make it. And you see at the end, and we'll see at the end. Let's get to our Inyan. Let's get back to what we're talking about, and says that each and every one of them will recount and tell all the tale that he remembers. From the first memory. And the first elder amongst them says, he remembers when the apple was snipped and cut from the tree, from the branch. When his umbilical was cut. I'm sorry. And the second one that says that he remembers when the candle was burning. What was going on, transpiring with him while when his mother was still pregnant. When there was still candle burning on top of his head. When he remembers when the body started forming. And the fourth one that remembers that at the time when the seed itself was being transported in order to plant the fruit. When the drop, was nimshach at the time of the unification. And the fifth one, that told that he remembered while the sages were inventing the seed. He remembers he was still in the brain of his father. They remember also the sight and the taste and the smell before it manifests itself on the fruit. Remembers that level of nefesh ruach neshama. And the baby that is the blind bettler himself, that is telling all this. And he also remembers nothing. That's beyond everything. He remembers that which is beyond the level of nefesh ruach neshama. That is an aspect of ayin. He says, just read that carefully. If you are willing to put aside the nonsense and see it with an open eye, you'll see from afar the wonderments of Hashem. It has never been heard or seen since the world was created. Such revelations.
Could we say, is it stretched to say, like, even Adam Rishon didn't marry this? He didn't remember when he was in his mother's womb. He was never in his mother's womb.
Never in his mother.
He says, Mimos Oilam. What can I say, You must tell him that's it. It has never been such a revelation.
זה בחינת תפילין.
And Rabbeinu said, and Rabbeinu says, you know, and he says, also all the neshamas that were in the world before me were waiting for me to come. He says, since I'm going before you, what have you got to worry about? How fortunate we are to be in the world now when Rabbeinu has already been in the world.
When he's here.
בוודאי. וזה בחינת תפילין. And this is the principle of tefillin. כי תפילין הם בחינת זיכרון. The tefillin are the manifestation of memory. כמו שכוסוב לזיכרון בין עיניך, should be to memory between your eyes. ולזיכרון בין עיניך should be the memory between your eyes. כי עיקר הזיכרון הוא תלוי בתיקון העיניים דייקה. The rectification of the memory is dependent dafka on tikkun einayim. Dafka tikkun einayim. That's the reason that when a person is attaining a new kedusha, when he is advancing into regions of holiness that he has never been to before, and the Yetzer Hara jumps in, the first thing that he gets him into is look at what you need not to look at. Kamavua b'maisanal. This is what the maisanal is saying, you know, practically explicitly. Shezeh evil, this blind beggar. Why was it called blind? Shezeh evil legama mechizadei almid. Even look in this world. Shelo haya lo shum mistaklos klal b'zeh ha'olam. He b'chlal didn't look at this world. Asher zocha shekol ha'olam lo haya oila be'einav afil kerefayim. This entire world didn't come up to him even an eye blink. That is the ultimate rectification of the eyes.
He didn't have an iPhone.
Yes, didn't have an iPhone. He attained the perfection of the memory. There is no perfection beyond it. You know that in the generation just before us, there was a Yid Tzaddik, many tzaddikim. One of them was called Reb Shmuel Shapira. Shmuel Shapira he came from a very choshev, a Litvish family. He went to Shiva Chaim in Yerushalayim. When he learned that he was one of the Iluyim of Yerushalayim. He became close to Breslev, and Rabbi Yisrael Meltzer was the Rosh Yeshiva of its time. At the time, said he was very upset when he became close to Breslev. He says the Chassidim will pay dearly for taking Reb Shmuel Shapira. Okay, that was his asaga. But be that as it may, the Rabbi Yisrael Meltzer is so Reb Shmuel Shapira as a bacha, he was like the pride of Yerushalayim. It was the flower of Yerushalayim. An Ilui, a tzaddik, a kodesh. It's just like, and they made a shidduch with his wife, the Rebbetzin, and she also comes from a very special family and whatever. But not only was she wasn't that well. She wasn't very healthy. But she was known to be very homely.
Depression?
I don't know. No. That you're talking about Yaakov Meir's wife. No, she was very homely. She was a very bad-looking woman.
Doesn't say that in the biography.
What?
Doesn't say that in the biography.
Yeah, but that's
okay.
That was the nice.
Shmua.
It was like whatever it is. What is? So in the shidduch. Now, not being good looking is one thing. Being stupid is quite another. Stupid she was not. So he came to the they spoke. He spoke to her and says, okay, he's willing to get married with her. So she said, she says, what's the deal with you, man?
What's the catch?
He says, what's the catch? He says, he says, I know, I don't look that good. It was, just, he says, it doesn't bother me. I don't intend to look at you after we get married anyhow. So she said she doesn't want to marry him. She said he's crazy. He says he doesn't want to marry her. She doesn't want to marry him. He says, he's insane. She doesn't want. Bekitzu, they pressed her, when you're going to get another shidduch like this. I mean, Bechlal, there was a question if anybody would take her Bechlal. And not only this, they gave her, the greatest baruch in Yerushalayim, the biggest tzaddik in Yerushalayim. And you're going to start, pranky panky, you're going to become choosy. What's wrong with you? Bekitzu, they got married. And
Never to be seen again.
Boy, did she give him the what for. And he didn't look. Shapira, Daladamas. But he was the best husband. The best husband. He helped her, he cleaned the house, he did everything. But just didn't look.
Never looked at her?
I never looked at her. He said, you look Daladamas.
Only when necessary.
Well, the story is that they were road him for being breast love, and they basically, after she had a baby, they basically...
No, you're Mababa between him and Reb Shmuel
Shapira.
No, that's Shmuel Horowitz. It's somebody else. That's fine. Don't mix the two. That's Shmuel Horowitz.
That's Shmuel.
Yeah, Shmuel is Shmuel Horowitz. It's not Shmuel Shapira. That's not the same one.
Okay, good.
That's another.
That's a whole
Megillah of its own. But Shmuel Shapira, the Maaseh with him, he was in the field all day. All night. It was just like actually he was during the day he was learning in the kollel, and she gave him the what for throughout the lifetime. And he was quiet and whatever it is, beseder, and from anything that all the money that he got from the kollel, he gave to her. He didn't keep a penny in his pocket, nothing.
He didn't need anything in this world.
He didn't. He just gave everything to have his zakol. The only thing he did do was he put a little bit of money aside from every time, and he put it together. And the time came. She wanted to divorce him. She took him to the badas, the Beis Din. So that she came. Reb Reuven Bengis was the Av Beis Din at the time. He took one look at him, he screamed at went out of Beis Din, go home and be a good woman. Were you going to get anybody like him? Get out of here. Av Bengis threw her out of the court. You're hacking cup. Just go home.
What happened to the money?
So, years later... Okay, no, then you realize he's keeping track. So what happened was that after years, he took all this money, it took years to come, because he took just like pennies, and he sent her on a vacation. Sent her on vacation, Bet Avrahah, in Motza, whatever it was, that he sent her on vacation for a couple of weeks. That was his old Abba. So the people started coming from that vacation home to Mea Sharem looking for Reb Shmuel Shapira. Looking for Reb Shmuel Shapira. That was years and years and years after the whole thing. So this is why you're looking for Reb Shmuel Shapira. He says because there's a woman then in the convalescence home in Bet Avrahah that says that her husband is a tzaddik like Moshe Rabbeinu. She knew him. It's like giving him a heck is one thing, but she knew who he was, and he was in the field that they just left the house. He and the oldest Chabur. My teacher, was a part of his chabura, and Reb Shmuel and one of the other people used to go to the Felder, used to go to the Felders that were just making his burden, that had nothing to do with this world. And the women in the house with the children, they get stuck. Says once his wife and the other person's wife went to the field to scream at them, what's with you? So he just stood there, and the Seder Shmuel was standing there laughing. His wife was screaming at him. The Indian of Shmuel.
This is a lesson how to make your spouse happy.
Don't. This is
try to
not
set
Shalom
up-
Bayis 101. This is not recommended.
No, the point is that when you
At least
belong,
don't laugh.
when you belong to the Navy SEALs, you know it's a different kind of. And Taka, the other person, could not sustain it. Reb Shmuel did. And I remember when I asked Reb Simcha Bar Lev, why the other one, you know, fell off to this and
Why?
he didn't. He says because Reb Shmuel gave his wife all the money. The other person kept a little bit by himself. He says that was the difference of
That's
who
the key.
actually who made it all the way to the end and who didn't.
One
Put
bank
that
account.
on the record that if you give kavod to your wife, she will let you do avodas Hashem.
Well, you
Give
see,
kavod to your wife, she'll let you, she'll
you-
let you go to Uman and she'll let you. Do whatever
anyhow,
you
so you see, but Reb Shmuel
Giving
was.
all the money.
Kavod.
Now the thing
That's
is,
a big part.
another thing that
The
I'll
biggest
tell
part
you,
of the
Shniach. Another thing I want to tell you about Reb Shmuel is that when the children were small, you hear when the children were small, he was still going to the field and everything, and his wife said, you know, help me in the house with the children, the small children. When they'll grow up, you can go to the field. He told her the other way for kids. It's the opposite. Now I can go. When they're grown up, I won't be able to go anymore. When they grew up, you know, he stayed with them and he learned with them, and it was like when they were still babies, when they were still young. This is when he was doing those. Reb Shmuel Shapira, you know, it was just one look. That's it. Daladamas. That was there was once Afghana in Yerushalayim.
What's an Afghan?
A demonstration. There was a demonstration in Yerushalayim. You know, like they have, you know, by the Gzeres Hagius or Shabbos or autopsies or whatever it is. There was, you know, and the Badatz in Yerushalayim, you know, decreed it. Everybody comes. Everybody goes. Everybody, Ish Bali Adam. And everybody was going to the demonstration, and Reb Shmuel Shapira is walking the other way. They saw him at the same time, going the other way. So they started talking. Who knows what happened to Reb Shmuel Shapira? You know, Mr. Maybe Zatzioni, maybe something. You know, all the kids. So they started talking. Who knows, and this and that, and whatever. Himself, somebody actually asked him, and they found out he never saw the plaques because they're on the wall. He never looked at the walls. He looked down. It's not nothing. He just didn't know there was there. It wasn't.
Wasn't much of a gossiper either.
No, Vadaishalo. And Mori Rabbi Bevel Cheshin was the same thing with Shmiras Einayim. He used to go in the street. He was in his late 70s. He used to go in the street with this like aviator glasses, you know, like mirror, you know, like real cool glasses. It's so funny. It was this with white beard, looks like a malach with these mirror glasses. And one day he forgot them, so he wanted to turn around to get them. So his son Arle, he said, "I'll go get him." He says, "No, I will get him." So, I'll get him. He was an older man. Arle ran inside the house and brought them. When he brought it out, he realized why his father didn't want him to get him the glasses, because the inside of the glasses was smeared with mud. He just scratched a little bit on the bottom so you can see the sidewalk. He was close to 80, but that's the way he walked in the street. The eyes are covered, you know, it's like,
He didn't have an iPhone, right?
No. Ki Ika Zikaron Tolo B'Tikun Einayim. The main Zikaron is dependent on the rectification of the eyes.
It has a question I have to ask. And that is, so are we saying that the whole Bria was created as an intentional distraction.
Of course.
Yes. It is an intentional distraction
But Mount
that if
Everest-
you overcome it, you are zoicha to see.
The MS.
You're zoicha to see dvorim elyonim.
Wow,
It's a choice. It's either or.
Well,
Either
why
you
is-
see gashmias.
Why is it that 0.1% of the people make it? You know? Why is it that such a low percentage of the people realize
Because we're in
that?
Shara Hamishim, maybe?
Why is a percentage of the people are billionaires?
Because they go for it.